So there's a relationship in Z that I feel like almost nobody talks about, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's subtle, it's complicated, it's full of tension, respect, disappointment, quiet admiration, and it's the relationship between Vegeta and Gohan. Not Goku and Gohan, not the iconic father-son pair we've heard about for decades. I'm talking about the unspoken dynamic between the proudest Saiyan alive and the softest Saiyan ever born. When you go back through Z with a clear lens, Vegeta treats Gohan in a way that he treats absolutely nobody else. Not Goku, not Trunks, not Piccolo, not Bulma, not even Future Trunks. Bro, it's a very specific kind of energy. And it's kind of mentorship, but not really. It's not rivalry, it's not friendship. It's like an older family member, like younger family member. It's Unk energy, bro. Like it's straight up Unk energy that he has with Gohan. Like the tough uncle who thinks that the nephew's wasting his potential. Like the kid who respects the uncle but doesn't want to become him. The two people bonded by like the same heritage, but they have very, very different lives. And so in this video, I just want to talk a little bit about that dynamic, right? Going from the Saiyan saga all the way through Super into the modern era, kind of looking at it moment by moment, because there's a lot of just depth I feel like to talk about, man, that reveals why these two kind of just matter to each other, and why that connection and what that connection says about the Saiyan race more than maybe anything else in the franchise. So before Gohan understands Vegeta, Vegeta understands Gohan. So the thing about Saiyans is like they don't see people, right? They see potential, the power level, the lineage, the bloodline, the instinct. Before Vegeta even knows Gohan as a person, he recognizes something that almost nobody picks up on, and that's that this kid is elite. You know, he's elite by birth. So his pops might have been a low-class warrior, but whatever was going on genetically with like Chi-Chi and everything with her bloodline, man, Vegeta saw something that made Gohan kind of rare. He's this hybrid. He's a mutant hybrid. It's a hybrid that could eclipse even the royal bloodline. Like Gohan's something special, and we see that acknowledgement almost immediately within the story. When Nappa charges in ready to kill Gohan, Vegeta stops in and say, yo, bruh, like, be careful with this kid, you know? And Nappa laughs it off. Vegeta wasn't playing. And that's the first time Vegeta acknowledges Gohan's potential, even as a scared, really untrained child. But when Gohan transforms from fear, attacks Nappa, Vegeta notices that that's just not chaos, man. That's a power spike that's happening. This kid is Zenkaiing up. Vegeta sees in Gohan what nobody else does yet, that raw Saiyan instinct, man, that's just waiting to come out, waiting to wake up. The same instinct Vegeta had to grind for since birth. The kid just got it. He got that dog in him. And that's where kind of the uncle-nephew tension sort of begins. For Vegeta, lineage matters. And seeing a child being able to surpass expectations, that activates this mix of like both respect and this irritation that, you know, like you get that, man. You get that when you see a kid that's like nice. You're like, man, this kid, he kind of nice. Like you see it, but you get kind of pissed, right? And he's the nephew with the talent. And he's an uncle with pride, you know. It starts real early. So now let's flip it a little bit, right? While Vegeta is able to clock Gohan as an elite, Gohan is experiencing Vegeta the same way any kid with real high anxiety would, right? He's afraid, man. Like Vegeta's intimidating, dude. Vegeta, you know, his forehead and everything. He's an intimidating guy. So Gohan, we talked about this, right? He's high in agreeableness. He's neurotic. He's conflict avoidant, emotionally sensitive, raised in a peaceful home. He's basically the opposite of every Saiyan cultural norm. So when he encounters Vegeta, this hyper dominant, hyper aggressive, cold-blooded warrior, it triggers like every fear system in this kid's bones. And you see this, man. He hides behind Krillin when Vegeta shows up. He freezes when Vegeta speaks. When Vegeta walks near him, he shrinks up, man. He gets the ick. The dynamic sets the stage for what's going to be like a really interesting like psychological arc for the both of them. You know, there's this fear which turns into like tension when I'm around this person, which then starts to turn into respect for their capability, mutual respect for what each of them are able to do, which then turns into mutual recognition where it's like, I see you, you nice, you know, like I see you. That's not there yet, you know. And right now Gohan still sees Vegeta as a threat. He's a predator in the ecosystem, man. The embodiment of like the instincts that Gohan hates inside of himself, which is super important. They're both kind of projecting on each other, right? And Gohan sees this, like what Vegeta is like the exact thing he does not want to become. And the irony, those instincts are exactly what Vegeta pays attention to in him. Ugh. Like Toriyama, he was on it, right? So Namek, Vegeta starts treating Gohan differently from everybody else. And this is one of, I feel like, the most overlooked elements in Z, where Vegeta don't treat folks equally, man. He's not doing that. He treats people based on strength, potential, lineage, respect, utilitarianism, how useful they are, and personal pride. So let's look at how Vegeta treats everybody else. Krillin, bald. Yamcha, worthless. Tien, bald. No. He barely acknowledges him. Piccolo, rivalry, but there's somewhat of a respect for the green man because he know he can be nice sometimes. Goku, there's this obsession with in competition. Just, I gotta overcome this hurdle. Trunks, like later, like there's this weird kind of rivalry, but also like protectiveness, but there's this insecurity related to Trunks, right? But with Gohan, it's weird because he like talks to him like a person almost, right? Like he corrects him when he sees Gohan's bugging or if he's not living up to his potential or expectations. He lectures him. He explains strategy. He warns him about stuff. He gets irritated when Gohan is like an emotional mess, when he's making errors. He makes demands of him to like, hey, we need to clock this. You need to be going over there. He tries to plan with him. He watches him close. He comments on his potential repeatedly, man, and he reacts when Gohan falls short. And that's just not how he treats everybody, man. He definitely don't treat strangers like that. This is how he treats somebody that he respects, or he expects more from. It's like that nephew who's like, why aren't you committing? Like you could be the GOAT. You just won't do it. Kills me. I was gonna say kills me because I get it, man, but it kills him. On Namek again, Vegeta scolding Gohan for apologizing too much. Stop hesitating. Stop apologizing. You soft. You'll die if you act like that. He's not trying to be cruel, right? This is Vegeta trying to force Gohan into the mindset of a warrior, into a militant, what you have to be able to survive on a battlefield. So then when Vegeta sees Gohan's rage spike against Frieza, the shock on Vegeta's face, like it's not fear of Gohan, it's like recognition, right? Like it's pride, but he's pissed. Like there's frustration, but there's confirmation of like who and what Gohan is. He knows what he's seeing, right? Gohan has the potential, like this could be the perfect Saiyan life form. This could be the peak. He low-key sees the Saiyan that he always believed himself to be, like what he could be in Gohan. And that's where we kind of see the weird seeds of like the emotional conflict developing for him, right? Where Gohan's softness irritates Vegeta, not just because like weakness, but because he feels like it's a direct barrier to the greatness that Gohan could have. That frustration, man. Ugh. So Gohan grows and understands Vegeta more than a lot of other people do, maybe more than anybody else does. And that's where we see the dynamic kind of start to shift. As Gohan grows, his fear lowers of Vegeta. He's willing to come around more. His assertiveness starts to increase. His understanding of Saiyan instinct starts to sharpen. He starts to understand himself better, that thing in him. His moral compass stabilizes. Like he understands when hard decisions have to be made a bit more because of the situations that he's been put in. His relationship with Piccolo starts to shape him. So you have that factor going in. He has exposure to danger, right? These various combat situations that start to desensitize him to combat and war in some ways, and his training, those experiences all mature him. So by the Android Saga, Gohan knows that Vegeta is not evil. Vegeta is like hurt and he's very, very proud and he's like emotionally armored. He's like stay back. He's a man, right? Like that's raised in this warrior caste with like no softness allowed. It's like a part of his identity. And Gohan's whole deal is empathy. They're opposites on this thing. So his entire psychological profile revolves around like trying to understand people, to not like hurt others, to protect. And so he begins to read Vegeta in a way that like other people just can't. They can't see him the same way. So Gohan understands Vegeta's psychology maybe even better than Goku ever has, if we're being real, because Goku isn't like super huge on emotional nuance, man. Like he can pick up on some stuff. I'm not calling him stupid, but like Goku sees like the the actions and stuff, man. He's not always picking up on like the pain or the subtext, because we see that in Goku's relationship with Gohan. And Gohan sees like both the behavior and like the emotional context. You know, he's got that human in him. He's got this this dual nature, like just who he is as a human being, saying, you know, who he is, man. So Gohan also watches Vegeta implode after 19 and 20 appear, right? The androids. He sees Vegeta's insecurity, the shock at the android's power level, that unwillingness to accept help, his pride starting to crack. But Gohan doesn't like mock him, you know, he doesn't like challenge it. He doesn't, but he's also not fearing him at this point either. He's like, I get it. Like this is a lie, you know. And then Gohan fighting alongside Vegeta without fear, you know, like this starts to come in. He steps in with confidence. He starts to recognize Vegeta's intensity as like a mode that he dips into when it's time, you know, like, or just like this place that he has to come from. There's this beginning of that mutual recognition and everything, man. And Cell Games is where I feel like this really peaks, like the peak of their relationship, where you have that uncle-nephew bond. Like it's kind of becoming undeniable, man. The big unk energy is starting to happen. And so we have like a few big developments here with Vegeta seeing ideal Saiyan in Gohan. So when Gohan transforms into Super Saiyan 2, bro, I'm telling you, Vegeta witnesses the peak, right? The perfect expression of Saiyan potential, the balance of both rage and clarity, to be able to be mindful in the middle of the battle, that power that he had been looking for, that true transcendence of Saiyan and Super Saiyan, you know, that power he had been chasing forever. Invincibility, nothing can touch you, the raw talent that he had always thought he had but maybe couldn't tap into or never fully seen, the destiny that he had been looking for that was supposed to be his, man. And this changes Vegeta, man. Like, and it's a bit of jealousy, but it's not spite. It's a weird thing, man. It's he's just in awe. Like he sees this and he's like, he's just truly in awe of Gohan, awe and like guilt, because Vegeta knows that his own pride like created the disaster that they were in and everything too. And this is like one of the first time we see kind of Vegeta admire somebody without resentment, which is like nuts. And it doesn't happen until like much later in the series through Vegeta's character evolution. Vegeta defends Gohan multiple times, something that he just doesn't do for other people, man. Vegeta blindsides Cell after 16 dies, you know, like it's like an emotional attack, man. He attacks because he knows Gohan's going through it. Vegeta watches the Cell Juniors torment Gohan's friends, and instead of mocking Gohan, he looks horrified, man. He's feeling for the kid, and Vegeta fires that desperation blast to help Gohan finish Cell, you know. But like that thing that when Gohan was trying to get his second win, that the kind of the emotional apex, right, where Vegeta will never admit it, but in that battle, Gohan, like that's my boy, man. That's my nephew. Like that's like family to him at that point. So after the Cell Games, man, like they have multiple shared traumas, if we're being real, where like it creates a permanent bond between them, man. Gohan's like lost innocence, man, with that Super Saiyan 2 break and everything that they had to go through to get there with the loss of his dad. Goku's dead. Vegeta's breaks emotionally. He says, I'm never going to fight again. The world is scarred. Trunk dies and comes back, thankfully, but there's like a generation's worth of pressure on Gohan's shoulders. And through all of this stuff, man, Gohan sees Vegeta's guilt and everything too. Vegeta witnesses Gohan's pain. They got like this bond that's forged through war, man, comrades. And they don't say it, you know, they're not mushy about it. It's like, it's not spoken. It's family stuff, you know. When you're real close to somebody like that, there's usually a lot of stuff that goes unsaid where you both can feel it. You can feel that connection, but it doesn't need to be stated. You guys just know how you feel about each other, right? And I feel that with these two, man. And so in the Buu Saga, where that uncle energy, you know, we got even more of it, man, where the nephew is wasting his potential and Vegeta's pissed. Frustration starts to peak in Vegeta looking at Gohan. He's livid, bro, because it's not even just because Gohan's weak, but because he could be the GOAT. Like, it's like, watch, he's like, what are you doing? Like, you're him. And then, like, now look at you. You can't beat up Debor. Bro, Vegeta was pissed. He sees Gohan slacking, studying, putting on tidy whities outside and fighting bums, losing his edge, living a soft ass life. And Vegeta, like, that's just blasphemy for this man, especially at this point in the story. And he cooks him. He's roasting him, man. It's like, look, this is what you've become. Look how they massacred my boy. Like, hit him with the Godfather. You were supposed to surpass Kakarot and me. Like, your potential was, you were the GOAT. They're not insults. I know they hurt, but they're not insults. He's genuinely disappointed, man. And Vegeta only gets angry at people like this that he cares about or respects. Goku, Trunks, Future Trunks, Bulma, like people he's close to. Gohan's on that list, right? Unk energy. Like, that's telling you, man, the uncle who you like, you could have been a star athlete, but you chose accounting. Like, it's just, but underneath all that frustration, like, is pride, man. He believes in Gohan. He believes in Gohan's potential. He still sees that kid who shook the planet when he was Super Saiyan I can't even say it. When he was Super Saiyan 2 shooting Kamehamehas, like, that, like, saying love language, if we want to call it that, man. He loves this kid. And so if we start looking at Super Era, you kind of have this mutual respect that's finally solidified, right? Gohan's a grown-ass man, Vegeta old as dirt. Their relationship is just, it's more stable, you know, like they know their roles and their place in their own lives, and just like they're connected as family at this point. So Vegeta talks to Gohan directly, you know, like not crazy aggressive. Gohan doesn't seem to fear Vegeta at all anymore. You know, like he's cool with him. They coordinate during battles. Vegeta respects Gohan's brain, you know, his composure, that ability that's still there. And Gohan doesn't get overly apologetic or freeze up all the time or hesitate around Vegeta the way that he used to. And so you see that arc kind of start to complete. The scared boy now kind of on equal ground with his uncle, man, his mentor, the frustrated warrior who now respects the man who's like the boy who grew up to be a man. Uncle, nephew, warrior, you know, like they see each other. So this relationship, man, why it matters. Vegeta didn't raise Gohan. Piccolo kind of raised Gohan. Goku saved and, you know, he helped. He did some stuff in there. Chi-Chi was there raising him, protecting him. But Vegeta definitely shaped him in a different way, man, through pressure, expectation, rage, fear, comparison, disappointment, recognition. And Gohan helped shape Vegeta too, man, like through the compassion, through innocence, witnessing pain, to surpassing him, through learning to forgive him, through reminding him to like still be human and everything, man. Vegeta never calls Gohan family because Saiyans don't talk like that. But if you watch, they finally seem to understand each other. You know, Gohan sees the man behind the warrior, and Vegeta acknowledges both the man and the warrior within Gohan, man. He sees both the humanity and also that respect and understanding, like what's behind all of that stuff with like lineage and expectation that he was carrying when he looks at Gohan. So amazing relationship, man. Super good stuff. I want to do a huge shout out to the channel member that recommended I talk about this one. I had so much fun with this subject, man. I appreciate you. Guys, thank you for watching. $5 a month, man. Channel memberships. Early access to videos, member exclusive content, help keep me alive out here making these random ass videos like this. And as always, man, I appreciate you for just being here. Y'all be easy. I'll catch you again in the next one.